Recording.
Got it.
Because we have to have all the unrehearsed stuff.
Well, Nolcha made a beautiful slideshow. Are we
Yes, she
screen sharing,
did.
Nolcha?
Yeah. Do you want me to do that now or you want to wait?
Oh, we'll wait till we
Well,
start.
I was just going to start by sharing my panel, that we have.
Right.
And I'm sharing the funny one because these women are funny, or they think they are, or something. I'm not sure. So I'm sharing the funny one that so in this space, we envision a world where all are seen and heard. Our community practices deliberative conversations, sociocratic decision-making, and collective projects for the benefit of all engaged members. We share wisdom through writing and editing practices, community retreats, free and paid courses, and collaborative work. Our simple rules are respect all the spaces, be curious, ask questions, support marginalized people's agency, and be open to life's infinite possibilities. Okay.
Thank you, Nancy.
So I am super excited to get this show on the road. Now, how do I stop sharing? Here we go. All these little buttons all over. All these little buttons all over. So welcome, everyone. I'm still expecting more people. You had a bunch of people on the sign
I
up form.
know, we really
Excited.
advertised well.
But you know what? We'll make sure they get a link to the recording when this is all over
Oh, that
too.
would be great. Yeah, I think that's one thing they're looking for. I'm glad you're recording. Thank you.
Yes, I'm glad it's working. Yes.
Yeah, and I appreciate the gardens, providing a space for women
Thank
to
you.
to
Yes.
thrive, and that you have these guidelines for thriving on these
How it
occasions.
works.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, I can't wait to share this screen with your next outward facing live open mic event.
Mm,
So we're going to take
yeah.
that and take it outside the garden this month. You want to do it this month? Are we starting
Yeah,
this
sure,
month?
let's try it. Yeah. See
So
if we
yeah,
can.
that'll be another event to get people together and share.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's all about, right?
Right.
So we are celebrating the release of a couple of books here today. First, we have Too Much Fun to Be Legal, which is by both Nolcha Fox and Barbara Leonhard as a collaborative poetic collaboration. And fun poems, very interesting stuff that these two women talk about. Then we also have Words in Elephants and Words into Elephants that Nolcha worked on with Lisa, and
Mm.
that's now available too. But then we also have Three Penny Memories by Barbara
Oh,
that go back. So there's a lot of books being discussed, not necessarily today, but by these two
okay.
very talented authors.
I
If you want to
didn't
grab
have my
it,
book handy.
yeah, if you want to grab it and show it, but that's good. So,
Okay. Let me find.
we'll let her do that real quick. Nolcha, do you want to introduce yourself, or do you know all these people so well that we don't have to?
I think I'm good. Actually, you're going, hi, everybody.
Hi, stranger.
Thanks, Pete.
Thanks
Pete
for
has
being here.
Where
Pete has
was
been absolutely.
Marion was here? Where did she go?
She's here. She's just not on camera yet. There you are, Barbara. Thank you. Yeah. I'll make sure I share links to all the books. Because these women have quite a few books out there. So this is fun. Nolcha's really turning them out left and right, which is very cool to see. Uh, well, before we get into the book, before we get into Nolcha's presentation, do either one of you want to share a little bit about the book and the experience?
Well, that's actually part of the presentation.
Okay.
I'm trying to cover it all.
Nolcha did a really beautiful slideshow.
Thank you.
So we could start it.
Yeah, let's do that. Nolcha, do you have it on your screen or do you want it on mine?
I'll go ahead and share it.
Okay.
Because of course I was changing things last night because that's what I do. So
That is what you do. Yes, I'm going to take
this
it off of my
comes
thing now.
up. There it is. And let me
Yay.
start the slideshow. which hopefully will work. Okay, so as Nancy said, we are celebrating today Too Much Fun to Be Legal and Words into Elephants. So we're going to start with Too Much Fun to Be Legal, which is an awesome cover. Thank you. Okay, so this is the part that's totally unrehearsed. Barbara and I never talked about this, so I don't know what we're going to say or if we're going to say anything. And Barbara, if you want to skip any of the questions, that's fine
Oh,
with
that's
me.
fine.
Okay.
The questions are good.
So let's start with how did we meet?
Yeah,
wanna
so
take that
Nolcha, you submitted to Masticadores USA, which I edit. And
Right.
and I had problems with Nolcha's submission because the Google gremlins kept eating her attachments. And it could be me. Maybe I wasn't finding the attachments, or I was always using my iPad a lot. I have been using it a lot. And so we just connected trying to figure it all out. Just kind of had a lot of laughs about it. And so that's the initial meeting.
Right, and that those gremlins were actually, that was one of our first collaborations.
Yeah. So Nolcha, I think you started it, right? You, or I don't know, but any one of us wrote a verse. We just started sharing verses in Google Drive,
Mhm.
having fun, laughing about life. All our I don't know, all the things that were bothering us that day.
Usually.
Yeah, it was a lot. Usually I'm always bothered.
So the leaps of faith that started us writing together. I know, Barbara, that you were still mourning the death of your mother, and you weren't
Yes.
certain you could be funny.
Yeah. I know, it was really wonderful that this getting together with Nolcha and writing some poems helped me bridge a gap into more poetry writing after working so hard on my book, Three Penny Memories. It was a lot of deep dive into my relationship with my mom. So working with Nolcha was fun. We shared a lot of the same humor, which I guess is similar, one of our similarities. And it just seemed like our voices were working together really well. And it was fun because we would write a poem and let it go. And usually I just wordsmith and batter a poem to death. But it was like, okay, I gotta let it go, let it go, let it go. Which was letting go of a lot, right? So
And of course, I was going, okay, time for the next one, time for the next one.
yeah.
And Barbara was saying, wait, what about that punctuation? I was going,
Nolcha's very, yeah, I'm going, what about the mechanics? What about going, let's go on. Of course, then when we finally got a publisher and Nancy would send us drafts, we were hammering the poems then, over and over. So
and Nancy's still talking to us afterwards.
yeah. Right.
Well, it was quite an experience. It was a great experience. And I have to thank Lisa too. She was a part of it as well in helping get this across the finish line.
Wow.
It was
Thank you,
definitely
Lisa.
a group effort,
Yeah,
definitely.
well, it takes a village, right?
It does. And that, you brought up that you were dealing with grief going through this and still trying to find the humor in life is powerful, I think, for other people who possibly could be going through the same thing and realize, there's got to be something funny in this somewhere.
Right. And it was through the pandemic, at least part of it, right? Nolcha and so it was a nice distraction for us, but also hopefully the poems will help people see the lighter side, see deep topics in a lighter way,
Interesting.
And so, of course, the poems that I took had nothing to do with deep topics. I just wasn't there.
She's always doing that.
Sorry.
Well, we didn't start out thinking, okay, this is going to be a deep, relevant poem. We were just having fun,
Yeah, except for one.
Which one was that?
The one on the shootings.
Oh yeah, that was pretty serious. Yeah, I had written a poem. I had a little poem in the past I'd written about school shootings, and she and I took it and developed it some more. She added another verse, and yeah, so that poem is not funny.
That's probably the only one that is very not funny.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's talk about how our writing styles are similar and different. I know that we talked about how our sense of humor is very similar.
Right.
But for me, what I really appreciate about you, Barbara, is that you tend to have a bigger picture of things, and I'm in there
Oh,
in the
okay.
corner with my little paint by numbers. You know, while
You mean you paint by number? You were saying paint, did you say paint by number?
paint by numbers,
Oh,
yes.
no, you've used that before. No, I know sometimes I can feel the tension and when we're writing, I bring in like a big, a different level, and then your next verse brings me back down to earth.
Yeah,
It's like, because some of our verses are like conversations,
yeah,
you know,
they are.
so it's funny, but actually when I have read some poems at readings and people say that they sound like one voice. So, and they're seamless, they think. The
Yeah,
verses go together seamlessly. So it's like, two voices coming together to make one voice, despite differences in how, views, what we view and what we're thinking about at one time. We coordinate and compromise on how we're going to express this poem. And then we're having fun, but we're not really arguing about it. We never really had tension about it,
yeah. No, but yeah, I was definitely just silly through a lot of it. And, when you were more serious. So.
I am a more serious person, which is not good sometimes. But that tension may be in the poems, and it may keep people interested too.
I think so. Yeah.
It's not a bad tension. It's good.
So how do we collaborate? Okay, that one's really easy. And Barbara, you probably already said
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So we have a shared folder in Google Docs, and that's where we plunk all of our collaborations. And so we'll start with a document and make sure we have the link, and then just start writing it until we finish. And then one day we had enough, and we said we should probably make a book out of this.
Right. Yeah. And then we go, what are we thinking? No. Yeah, and it worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Nolcha made a spreadsheet, and so we could keep track of any poems that, in case we submitted them somewhere and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, ignore the dogs. My husband's on doggy duty. So why did we take a break? Well, we took a break because my mother died in October, and I pretty much stopped doing a lot of things, tracking my poems and collaborating. I just sort of felt like I was hit by a truck, and it wasn't until the last month or so that we started collaborating again.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say within the last 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes I think breaks are good. Because then your mind works on new ideas, and sometimes we need the break to just kind of live and gather more information that we turn into poems. I never worry about dry spells, there's always a reason for dry spells. So
Yeah.
I think right now we're having fun with writing Renge poems together with Melissa LeMay, who's part of the garden community. And we've done a little bit of you and me collaborating, but I think
we've done a couple.
Yeah. So I want to get back to that too.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd love to do that. So I'd like to go into Barbara and I reading 3 of our pieces, all of them. Well, you'll see. So Barbara's was an Inchala, and mine was What's Left.
The Secret Life of Socks. The pair, a solid couple, look alike, stink alike, have great jobs, untethered in leather factories, but some never return from work.
When we blame the washer for eating our socks, they're really out playing and whining and dining, forgetting our footsies are freezing without them.
That creates jealousy as some show up late, full of gaping holes from threads yanked, pulled out, twisted around a cotton crew.
I don't want to know what and where they did with whom.
Mhm.
It's too much information. I mend the holes and call it good, pretend it never happened.
You sound like Mrs. Clean. It doesn't bother you, all the missing ones, the mysteriously mismatched pairs, the pink ruffled anklet tangled with the hiker one?
I wait 6 months for mismatched mates to magically appear. If not, I toss the whole lot out and go on a sock shopping spree.
Grab your purse. There's a sock hop spree for 3 overstock sale at Victoria's Secret.
Okay, now this one, you see, I'm going to have to see if I can move this because I can't read everything because that's how I roll. Okay, so this was actually the one flash fiction piece that we wrote together, and it was published in Roy. I'm not going to say the whole word because my French is awful.
Fanon or something like that. Roy Fanon. Fanon, I'm not sure.
So I'll start at It's Road Trip. The moon is a vacancy sign, and I want to pull in for a rest. But the parking lot is full of stars, their headlights blinking through the dust my tires kick up. No room, no room. I must drive to escape the darkness, a mouth ready to swallow me whole from this lonely road. I fade into the crumpled map of my hand. No Google Maps, please, directing traffic on my phone. This is a moment of silence.
Forced to proceed, guided by the eyelids of shadows, slits of moon gaze. Night eats the gas, and I hope I make it before dawn. Some food left. Why don't I plan? Nut bars, a half thermos of coffee, sliced apples. A short trip, they said, but the road stretches like a rubber band ready to snap. The farther I drive, the farther away I feel. In the woods along the road, eye shine follows me into a mist and then a thick fog.
A hazy amber halo shines through the fog. A gas station. I pull in for gas, coffee, and something to quell the queasiness in my gut. Maybe hunger, maybe anxiety. I'll know in a few minutes. The counter guy asks how much gas. His skin is sallow, his face gaunt under the fluorescent lights, his eyes shining emerald green. I think zombies, and my stomach does a backflip. Definitely anxiety. Driving at night is another one of my terrible ideas. Just as I'm hopeless at planning, I'm hopeless at not listening to the warning bells vibrating this saggy old body. I pay for a jumbo-sized coffee, some candy bars, and gas. This road will either boomerang me back home or snap me to my destination. And help. Whoops.
Oh,
Sorry about that. Nice to go the right way, right? Okay.
The fog finally lifts like a balloon rising. The road darkens into the shadows of trees, lurching toward me like zombies. But do zombies' eyes reflect headlights? I shake off the image of the man at the gas station. I wouldn't be here were it not for my grandmother passing and her memorial services on Sunday. I'm not used to traveling alone, especially at night. Cataracts. Up ahead, I see someone walking alongside the road. A young girl? Out here alone at night? Are you okay? Do you need a ride? I notice that she's shivering in a red windbreaker. Her car has broken down. I don't recall seeing one. Maybe the fog swallowed it. I could use a ride to my grandmother's. You too? Hop in. I brush the candy wrappers off the passenger seat.
In the washed out glow of the overhead light, her thin, pale face looks barely held together, a vanilla cake with the top layer sliding off. Something about her is familiar. I don't know what. My stomach somersaults. Wait a sec. She looks down, fishes in her pocket. I raise my hands and surrender. Take whatever you want, just don't hurt me. She looks up, her feral eyes glowing green, and morphs into the gas station counter guy. You forgot your change. He puts a quarter and 2 dimes on the dashboard. The counter guy opens the car door, looks back at me. Didn't your mother ever tell you not to pick up strangers? His grin is toothy, lupine. Drop by on your way back. Coffee is on me. The door slams shut. In my rearview mirror, I watch a wolf lope into the fog. We had no idea where this was going, by the way.
No, and it's a really great retelling of, Little Red Riding Hood, I think.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Okay, so the next one, this is actually one of our recent poems. It's not in the book, but I wanted to share it. It's called Dusty Sorbet.
Okay, Dusty Sorbet. Road dust gathers into a heavy skirt around the old oak on a humid night, under the sorbet sky melting into moon.
Nothing worse than sorbet splattered on a hot summer sidewalk.
That thick, sticky dust kicked up by passing cars, now dressing my yard in tired memories held down by my tears. So how can I rise from this malaise?
My dust-covered memories aren't washed clean by dirty rain. I might as well admit it's dementia.
Dementia, or simply a dream about my heart dueling my mind. The sorbet sunlight melting on hot asphalt, oak trees trimmed in Sunday's finest, road dust.
Forget the sorbet. I want death by chocolate cheesecake, even if I have to eat it off a dusty floor. And that should be it for us.
Yeah,
Does
I wonder
anyone
if there are
have
any
questions?
Yeah, any questions? We could stop the screen share.
Well, so you're
Yeah,
at
there's
it
another-
again. You two
Yeah,
are
we're at it again. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We've
good to hear.
done more Renge writing with Melissa than we have our own, collaborations, but I think we're going to get back into those again.
Yeah. But Barbara, I know you're busy on a new book.
Oh yeah, I'm writing a book about it's a neo-noir, speculative, so sci-fi poetry book about contemporary AI robots. They're the main characters in these poems. I don't know. It's developing. It's fun. It's for the dark humor and also satire. So I read news. A lot of the news I read, I turn into little story threads for the robots. And it's been kind of fun. I think I've read some. Lisa, you've heard some on. I've gone to I've read a couple.
You have some really funny
Oh
ones.
yeah, and one of them is published in a garden anthology. The last one, Safe and Brave Space.
Safe and brave space.
The robot Sophia. My mother couldn't nurse me.
Okay.
AI robot Sophia wanted to have a baby. So that's the only one out of my collection I've published. I'm keeping them under wraps because I don't know. I think some poems need the context of another poem. I mean, they could probably stand alone, but they need a little bit of explanation. Maybe, I don't know. I always make things hard. Ask Nolcha.
Oh, no.
Nolcha's seen them. Pete's
Yeah.
seen some. Pete, you've seen some of my robot poems. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but didn't quite hear, Barb.
You've seen some of my poems I've written about robots.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
And Ken, is that Ken tomorrow who's here? He's seen them. Or if it's my friend Ken Gierke, I'm not sure which Ken is here.
Ken tomorrow said he'd try to listen if he could.
Yeah, he might be. He's seen a couple of them.
if I could just make a comment, it's interesting with the mass shooting poem, how tonally that's really the only very serious one in the book, but it somehow blends in with all the others.
Oh, that's good to know.
And with the road trip one, I shared my ideas of it in a review, how the gas station guy and the girl who were hitchhiking are components of the speaker's past. I don't know. I just sort of I was very struck by that when I first read the poem.
Oh, thank you. And I liked your review, Pete. That was really nice for you to
Yeah,
review
thank
it.
you.
Well,
Thank you.
you're welcome. It was fun to write about as it was to read the book.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome. So
All right.
are you both planning more collaborations?
Yeah, I think things are developing for sure. We'll see where they go. I like collaborating with Nolcha.
Yeah, I like collaborating with Barbara.
Yeah, it's
Keeps us
fun. It's,
laughing.
yeah, we have a good laugh, and it really helps. I think it's made a big influence on my writing, actually. It's helped me help bring out my funny voice. We actually dedicated this book to our fathers because we feel like both of us feel like our fathers gave us our sense of humor.
Huh.
I know I got it from my dad, in part, and um and I've always had this little buried sense of humor, neo-noir type, irony, satire, and kind of a direct look at well, I don't know, maybe it's indirect look at serious topics, but in a very funny way. And sometimes that offended people, so I would suppress it. But Nolcha helped me wake it up again, so that was really good.
And we don't care if people don't like it.
Yeah, I can tend to be irreverent in my new book. I have some it's a bit irreverent about life at times. Life and our beliefs. It's about being human. It's about how technology is influencing us, and what is sentience, what is being conscious, what does that mean? So it's a lot of stuff going on in the poems, but it's a bit irreverent, and that's what makes it funny to write, these poems. So.
Okay,
Any
if
other?
there's no other questions and no other comments, I'll move on to Words Intelligence, which was just published through Lisa. And thank you, Lisa. She made this wonderful, wonderful cover. I still laugh every time I look at it.
Yeah, it's really good.
It was so much fun to make.
Yeah. So why did I put this book together? When I first started writing poetry, I was writing very, very short poetry, micropoems, 10 words or 10 lines or less. And a lot of it came out of the April 2022, the monthly NaPoWriMo, National Poetry Writing Month. And I would take some of these prompts and go a little crazy. So when I just wanted to collect them and put them somewhere because I realized they were scattered all over a bunch among different publishers, and I just was starting to lose track of them. And so I decided I wanted them in one place. I did almost abandon the book. I had it, it was accepted by another publisher, and somehow it got lost. And I almost walked away from it because my mother had died, and my mother was my biggest fan, and my mother was happier that I was publishing books than if I'd become a doctor. So I really got into doing these books for her. But I finally sort of came out of the grief, snapped out of it, and Lisa was willing to publish it. So I'd like to share some of the sample poems. They're, like I said, they're very brief. And Nancy, if you want to let me know if I'm going over, just let me know. Okay, I actually wrote a lot about animals and a lot about birds. I think, Lisa, you noticed that there were lots and lots of animals all over through it. I don't know how that happened. It was certainly not planned. So my first one is bird brain. My head is just a bird cage. My life is a dead bird. My recollections are collections of bird turds that the ceiling fan whooshes away. The next one I want to share is chicken, chicken, chicken. And this actually comes from, I live in a small rural town in Wyoming, and a lot of people have, like, they have goats, they have chickens, they have ducks, they raise everything around me. And 2 houses down there is a woman who has chickens, and one of them has decided to be free range, and she jumps the fence. And that's where chicken, chicken, chicken came from. A black chicken, frantic to return to the other side, ran along the fence. I wanted to help her, but she clucked and fluffed away so fast, she must have thought I wanted hot wings. Thank you.
Okay, wait, I just have to say the chicken decided it was going to be free range.
Yes,
Maybe that's how it crossed the road. It decided to, huh?
pretty much. And I actually talked to my neighbor, and I said, your chicken keeps getting out. And she said, I know. She comes back.
Oh my gosh, she's better than a dog.
It's really, really funny.
Do your dogs react to that when that happens, Nolcha?
I don't think they notice. They I think they're too busy chasing grasshopper farts. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. They're not looking at the chicken. Okay, so this next one is really silly. It's called higher education. Who knows what I was thinking about? The mathematician is training to work at McDonald's. Today he is learning how to make ice cubed.
That should be in a stand-up act. I swear, that's great.
Thank you. And the next one I wanted to share is Holy Dementia, and it's based on a poem by Mary Ruffel on Twilight. As he wanders through his creation, I wonder if God picks me up from another fall and says, I made this. And just a couple more, and I should be done. This was probably one of the few serious ones in the book, maybe. Morning is a river he struggles to cross, leaning against loss, stumbling on stones of a life of almost, but not quite, sinking into sand filled with metal findings, enough to build a cage without a door. And the last one I want to share is, I do have a couple of bluebird poems. I guess I don't like bluebirds very much. She opened her heart, and the bluebird of happiness flew inside. Now she's so stuffed with bird poop and bird seed, she can't zip up her pants. She'd rather be thin and depressed. Thank you. Okay, and that was it. So thank you, everybody.
And
You're
thank you.
certainly welcome.
That was fun. That was a lot of, I always enjoy your slideshows.
Thank you for sharing all these wonderful poems. I mean, wonderful.
Thanks for putting together that slideshow, Nolcha.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're better prepared than I was.
It was nice to
I
see the text as you were reading.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank
I
you.
really like, at least half of those poems as inspiration for further poems from me. I
Yeah.
really like them.
Thank
They're
you.
good prompts.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Annette. Good to see you.
Yeah, Annette. Haven't seen you in a while. How are you? I hope you're fine.
Doing much better. I had to go through about 3 months of physical therapy for my arthritis in my spine.
Oh, I can relate.
Yeah.
Oh. And I noticed in the chat, Nancy put announcements about the, Kindle sales.
I
Yes,
put
yes.
links
99
to all
cent.
the books. I put links to, we have a couple of things that happen. So in the garden, on Saturdays, there's a Wordsmith weekly gathering where people gather to write. And that's happening now Saturdays at 11 a.m. Eastern. And then we also have a call for submission happening right now. Black Poetic Voices Will Not Be Silenced. And this is an interesting call for submission because we are asking for videos this time of
Oh,
people doing their poems that are based on poems by Black poets. Lisa, did you want to add something to that?
Yes, please submit. We need to see lots and lots of videos. We wanted to have a big video blowout all day long with that. So please do submit.
Yeah, so that's specifically for October 17th, which is Black Poets Day. So we're trying to get videos together to make a big video and release it on that day. So it is a short call for submissions, but we think it's kind of interesting. We think it's kind of a twist on the submission game here.
Yeah,
And
the link to that Garden Neuro Publishing, you have to do a fishing to find the actual link to submit. So
Okay,
I put the actual submission link in the garden. Let me go find it and stick it in chat.
yeah. And I'm
Please
wondering,
do.
can it is it going to be advertised like on Facebook or something that I can share it there too?
It is on Facebook all over the place. Yeah, if you go to my
Okay,
group
okay.
in there, yeah,
I haven't explored the groups much lately.
yeah, just look in the group I have. It's right in there,
Okay, okay.
and the
There's
garden
the
group
link.
has it too.
And Nancy, I want to thank you for the 99-cent Kindle sales on Too Much Fun to Be Legal, Finger Painting with Words, and also Cancer Isn't Just a Constellation. They're all on sale for 99 cents. Yay, I love sales. And
so
they will.
Yeah, it's too much fun to be legal. They all are right now. They should be all right now. They should be.
Last time I checked
These
this
talk
morning.
about their internet gremlins, and I'm telling you, it's contagious.
We sent them to you, Nancy.
I think they should all be 99 cents right now. So
And through September 10th, I think.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Well,
thank you.
Peter's having a sneezing attack. I got to tell you, this has been such I always love getting together like this. I've got a couple of like little notes written down for some poems to put together. So I want to thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Okay. So yeah, Lisa, I put the direct link right to the call for submission page in there.
Okay, good.
Got it.
I'm still trying to find it. Thank you.
But yeah, but both Barbara, you have Massicadoras, and then are you both writing on Medium now too?
I am mostly writing on Substack now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've moved away from, I'm moving away from Medium. I'm actually finding more people are reading what I write on Substack.
Okay, let me see if I can.
I do have some things up on Medium, but I've been doing more on my own blog, Extraordinary Sunshine Weaver.
Mhm.
And I haven't put things up on Medium in a while. I'm not sure what I'll do, whether I'll go to Substack or just trash it and just keep my blog. I don't know. We'll see. It's good to make connections on Medium and Substack. But sometimes just to get one blog entry done for my blog, could take an hour or two. So it's like that.
Right.
This is crazy.
Well, that's better than me. It takes days and weeks, and then they just don't get
right.
But both of you, if you could pop your links in there to the chat, it will be in this recording to your Substack and to your blog, Barbara. That would be great.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let me
Okay.
go look here just a second, because of course, ask me if I know anything. I haven't even had my coffee yet. What do I know?
Well, I know it's early where we are, right?
Right?
We're having a book launch for Nolcha's elephant book. I'm trying to find my date here. Help me out, Nolcha. When's your book launch?
I was wondering about that myself.
Yeah.
I was just, has an email been sent out about that with the link?
No, it won't
Okay.
go out till like a couple of weeks before.
Oh,
'Cause
okay. So it's,
people tend to forget things if I go too soon.
yeah. Is it toward the end of this month, Lisa?
It is.
I was going to say it's like
Why
September.
I don't have it in my calendar is the puzzle to me. The last week of September, and it's on a
Okay.
weekday. So I know that much, and I have to go back and look down my dates. So, but anyway, it's the last week of September, and we'll get the information out to everybody.
Great.
Yeah.
I hope this is a good time for me. I mean, I think we're Nolcha, it's 9/11
Yep.
where you, okay. Yeah. I guess we're mountain time, huh?
Yep.
And
Yep.
is it Arizona never changes? They never, Nancy?
That is such, ugh. Our clocks don't change, but everything in my life changes. Even our television is on at a different time. Like if you watch a show at 6 p.m., now it's at 7 p.m. or 5 p.m. or whatever, whichever way it goes. So like this gathering started for me at 7:30 in the morning. Well, when the clocks change, it'll be 8:30 in the morning. So my time does change. My clock doesn't.
It's
All of your
crazy.
clocks change. Yeah. Because we go from Pacific to Mountain Time and then back to Pacific. So right now we're Pacific, and through the winter we'll be in Mountain Time. Even though our clocks don't change.
Life changes.
Well,
book launch
moving to
for
Arizona
Nol-
is when I discovered there's a fourth time zone. You know, I was always, there's 3 time zones. I didn't know, nobody talks about Mountain Time Zone. It's like a secret. So yeah, that's when you learn something new, you know, when I was this old yeah. I'm sorry, Lisa, what were you saying?
I
you
put
found
it in
it.
the chat. Nolcha's book launch is the 24th at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time.
Okay, we will keep track of that.
24th, 11 a.m.
What time? When?
11 a.m.
That's
11
Mountain
a.m.
Time.
Mountain, 1 p.m. Eastern. You're Central, aren't you, Barb? Barbara, are you Central Time?
Yeah, Central.
Yeah. So it would be at noon for you.
1
Where I
p.
am.
Oh, yeah. Lisa, where are you?
I'm in North Carolina.
Oh, okay, on the East Coast.
Yeah. On the East Coast. Everybody should come out here where you have a party.
Really?
I've been wanting to come to North Carolina for a while, so there's another reason to go.
Yeah.
What other
Lisa
reason
can have
could
a
you
party.
possibly need other than to come see me? We could have a poetry party like you never saw before. You go down to the art museum and take it.
That'd be fun. It'd be fun to do a live in-person event like that, wouldn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, the art museum has events sometimes on Friday night, and if I ask them enough time ahead of time, maybe they'd let us talk, give a presentation or something.
That's true.
That'd be fun.
It's true.
And we could stay at your place, right, Lisa? And
Yeah.
you don't mind having some dogs?
I do not have any room for people to sleep.
No, we'll get a hotel room
my
and trash
husband
it
is
like we're rock
allergic to
stars.
animals. So what we do is we get one room and 20 people stay in it.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
And
no.
we'll trash it like we're rock stars. Come on.
Yeah,
Come on,
right.
let's do it. We'll make the
party
paper.
spirit.
Crazy poets destroy hotel room like they're rock stars.
With
One
no rhyme or
time-
reason.
Oh,
That's even better.
I heard the mic drop on that one. Yeah. At one time, the poets around here were, this is before I became active in the poetry community, were going around in random places and stopping dead where they were and reciting poetry, and then just walk away.
Mm.
Poetry on demand, they call it. It's just one or two poems and off they go.
that's funny. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, what were the flash mobs? The flash mobs that would do and they would dance and
Yeah.
stuff. That'd be kind of
That's cool.
fun to do something like that where you got to have a group of people where all of a sudden one person starts and everybody else like sits down to like, oh, look at this happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Mob with
God.
poetry. Flash
That
poet.
would be fun. Okay, we're coming out to North Carolina and we're gonna do that.
Take the town by storm and then leave me here to clean up the mess.
That's right. Poets don't worry about cleaning. They just leave a mess and run for it. Maybe Nolcha and I can write a poem about that.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Flash poetry, right?
Yeah. Flash cleaning.
no,
No.
no. Oh, well, thank you everybody for joining us. We're about 45 minutes in, so I don't want to take everybody's morning unless anybody has anything else they'd like to add to the conversation for a moment.
I
We're all
appreciate
good.
everybody who was able to attend and
Barbara, you have an
and
open
who
mic coming.
pardon?
You have an open mic coming.
Yeah, when is
I
open?
When is your open mic?
My open mic? Oh, for the for the garden, it's every third Tuesday at 11 a.m.
17th?
Yeah, so the 17th, I guess. Yeah.
And did I hear that you were inviting everybody? This is going to be outward facing.
I think Nancy,
Yeah, we think why not? Let's open that up. So I will get a sign up form together for it. And I think just a sign up form should be enough. Do I need to put out like a call for submission page or anything? I can just put enough information in the form.
no, if they want, so actually, does that mean it'll be Zoom link or
Yeah, Zoom
on
link.
Zoom?
Sure, Zoom link.
Okay. So yeah, that might be a good thing to have them sign up because then I
Then I
don't
can
know, I
send
always
them the
worry
Zoom
about
link.
public.
I don't have to find it, but yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will
whatever.
share that outward facing, and I think it'll be a good experience to have a bigger audience and a more diverse audience too.
I think it will be good and help recruit for the garden. We can do a little intro like you did today.
Yeah, like my funny stuff, my funny.
I've been telling a lot of people about it, the garden and
Good stuff.
yeah.
All right,
Noon
ladies.
that day, noon Eastern time. I have a podcast interview that day, so I can't be there, but
That's okay. But it's every
it'll be
month, so
fun.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you all for joining us here today. This has been so much fun. Like I said in the chat, there are links to all the books and then some other information. And I will share the video. So if you are on the list, I'll share it directly to your inbox, and then I'll also post it in the garden. And then I'll also post it on our all of our social media as well. So, people can see it and enjoy it and be inspired to write poetry and maybe come to an open mic and participate in the call for submissions and maybe come to a Wordsmith's weekly event. So thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Nancy.
You're welcome. Thank you for hosting.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you for this,
Good to see everybody.
for publishing the book and hosting.
It's a lot of fun. And so I'm gonna end the recording now.